Yeah, all set. All right. Thank you, Emilio. And good morning, friends and family, folks. Let's take our first short bow and thank yourself for being here. Allow that moment just to settle and sink for that. And then we're going to work with directions, diagonals, and circles. So we're going to start with one foot. And we'll go forward and back, side and side. And that repeats. To the diagonals, front and back, and circle one direction and reverse. And the other foot, forward, back, side and side. Diagonals. And circles. Knees, press down with the palm a little bit and keeping these comfortable in your range of movement. Forward and back, side and side. It's a great exercise if you have knee problems to help to heal these up. So be gentle. And front corner to back. And that repeats. And then start with small, comfortable circles. Open up the radius as you're going. And reverse. To shoulder width. Forward and back. Inside and outside. And circle. Reverse. Circle inside to outside. And outside to in. Take that lunge to the left. Try to spin that back heel around enough and feel that stretch coming up the Achilles to the back of the calf. Any balance problems, remember this is your safe spot here. The other side. And with feet parallel, take that over the side again and work your way down gently. The other side. No rush on these. Take your time over the weeks ahead. Over time, the stretches get easier and easier. So don't be too hard on yourself. And then back again. This time, raise up the toe. Side. Through the middle. Reach down, hold the ankles. Nice breath in and out. Stretch towards the left toes. And right toes. Left and right again. And breathe and relax. Through the middle. And coming up halfway. Hands up on the back. And reach across with that left hand and raise the right elbow. And look up towards the ceiling. Nice gentle spinal twist. If we keep the spine healthy and flexible, we stay healthy and happy through the next decades. And that repeats. And bend the knees, stretch through the groin, a little left and right. And then breathing in as we come up, big breath. Walk the feet up. Let the whole body settle down again. Nice relaxing breath. Yeah, back to going forward and towards the toes. Again, use your hands if you need to slow the descent. Stop the bottoms. Big breath coming in, fills the belly. Push with the hands if you need. We'll go vertical. Stretch you need to do more and more throughout the day. This nice long vertical stretch. And gently back, heels, arching back to the fingers. Vertical, and to the left, to the right. Sliding down gently, comfortably. Breath coming in. Vertical. Wiggle the toes on the left and the right foot a little bit. And gently back. Vertical and back. Notice when you come out of this, you can go straight up, but if you let that arm go forward, it just makes it a little bit smoother. Into shoulder width. We'll drop the knees and shoulders. And pause here for a moment. This is a great stretch for the low back, working with the discs. The alignment of the spine. And then with the breath coming in, push up and make that first circle nice and easy, small and comfortable. Back down, shoulders over knees. In, around, breath out. Again, no pain, small circles in the beginning. Open the radius as you're comfortable. And this time, reverse the direction. Start small. No sense in getting injured in the warm-ups. This is a nice way to heal up wound injuries, and prevent anything happening in the future. Open up the radius if it's comfortable. Breath in. And breath out. We'll pause again. And shift the weight left and right foot a little bit. A great exercises for strengthening the thighs also. There's some statistics that show that the stronger the thigh, the bigger the thigh muscle, the longer and happier you will live. So take heart, feels good. Fingers. Moving that energy from the palm back towards the center, nurturing the heart and pacifying the spirit. 4 directions, up and down, side and side. Diagonals and circles. Shake them out up and down and sideways and at the sides. As we bring the hands up over the head, that shaking will take you off your heels a little bit. Get a little clicking in the teeth. And back down. Up with each little thump and clicking of the teeth sends a lot of stimulation through the nerves of the body, stimulating the brain as well. Nice breath. Feel that tingling through the fingers, through the back of the head. I'm going to take that left hand, turn it, then reach behind. Thumb with the little fingers, we twist and down. Breath in, breath out. Right hand turns, reach behind. These are some of the trickier ones in the beginning. They do a great job in strengthening the hands and wrists. Something that happens as we get older. Since I can't quite turn the lids off of these jars anymore. Turning it over, come to the palm side as we come in. In, breath out. The other side, little finger up, thumb, and pull in. There's also many special points in these areas on the wrist, for the lungs and the heart. So we're doing a lot to stimulate. Palm forward and push. And stimulates that pericardium meridian that goes back to the heart. In and breath out. And side. When you're down there at the bottom, you can turn that hand inside and outside a little bit. That's a nice stretch through the shoulder. And the last, fold, press, and elbow down. Push down, and turn and press with the other hand. This gets the triple heater meridian, which is in a sense this distribution of energy through these main energy centers of the body. So you can think about up, middle, and down. In, breath out. And we'll go in, massage the wrist, stimulating all those points again. Some people are familiar with the point that's used for nausea, seasickness. And we go to each individual thumb and finger on one hand. The thumb relates particularly to the lung, the index finger to the large intestine. This is a nice one because it comes all the way up and comes to the side of the nose. Reminds you to take a nice breath in. And press the tongue up on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. And take that nice full breath. Probably in the warm-up doing this for Tai Chi, you get more oxygen into the body than you probably do in half the day. The ring finger is the pericardium. The middle finger was the triple heater. And then the little finger, despite its size, is the small intestine on the outside and the heart on the inside. That little finger does a lot of work. And go to the other hand, the lung. To the top of the shoulder. This begins and then from the large intestine, that's the pairing of yin and yang. It brings it all the way back to the nose and the face. Middle finger pericardium, back to the heart. Not just the heart on the front, but also think of it on the back side. There's a couple of very important points in this area on the scapula that the old Taoists referred to as cures 100 problems. And it's particularly working with lungs and heart. Ring finger. And there's other connections. For instance, on the little finger side of that ring finger, the first joint, there's special points for the kidneys, special points above that for the spleen. So you don't have to know all these things as you're doing it, but as you do it more and more, and you make these nice internal connections as you do it, it's just another way of working with the energy internally to help to strengthen, heal the whole body, the mind, and the spirit. And we bring the fingertips and the thumb together, and we vibrate. Try to keep the hands away from the body, opening up that space under the arm, this being the first point on the heart channel. So you don't want to squeeze it off. Open that up so that that energy can flow easily, kind of like playing shaker. Get both hands moving. Again, down to the toes, moving the left and the right foot and the toes. Go out to shoulder width. And we'll drop the hands down and back a little, the shoulders and the chest. As we come around into a posture called embracing the pillar. So extend out through the elbows, feel that little stretch through the back. Feel that buzz in the fingernails, carry that back. Elbows, shoulders, cures 100 problem points, spine, and tuck through the coccyx, chin, down to the left and the right foot. Now the whole body, eyes, ears, sense organs, all the internal organs, all the joints. Let the hands sink down. When you're practicing on your own, or if you practice for a little bit before you go to bed, this is a wonderful practice to do. Very calming, very soothing, a nice way to sort of unplug from the whole day. Feel the breath moving the hands as they come out a little bit, as they come in with that exhalation. And then for men, we take the left thumb, for women, the right. Left thumb and wrap the fingers around. And as you can see, it's kind of a yin-yang symbol that you can look at for just a moment as we continue that meditation. And in yin and yang, looking at the left and the right side of the body, in a sense balancing out and up and down. So there's the third eye in the back of the neck, down through the coccyx, open the knees a little bit, all the way down to the left and the right foot. Then we look for the front side of the body and the back side of the body. Just working the coccyx, sinking the chest, slight pull on the thumb, slight hold with the fingers. Activates a lot of these meridians through the whole body, these energy channels. And then the inside, look down through the spine, through the core of the body, through the core of the legs. Bone, bone, and bone. Round the body to the outside. And expanding that area around the body. Bring the hands out. Front, left and right. Back. The coccyx, the chin. Up and down, left and right. Inside and out. At one time, there were a number of Qigong hospitals in China where they basically taught these very simple meditations and were treating heart disease and kidney disease, cancers, respiratory problems. Very, very powerful way to heal the body. Gives you time to look at that area that's problematic. See how you can expand that area, get the energy to move to it and through it. Once more, let's open, up, down, left and right. Body lighting up inside. Walk the foot in a little bit. Still some space. I'm going to bring that hand up alongside the ears. We turn through the waist. Turn. And then a little work through the knees. Energy to move from the earth the way up through the whole body, through the top of the head, connect to the energies of heaven. We'll bring that left arm across. Flick the fingertips. Hand on the belly, and he tells you the source of that movement from this lower dantian. The other side. Moving that energy from the lower dantian to the middle, through the arm, to all those fingers, all those meridians that we did through massage in the hands. Bring that left arm across. Look at those fingertips first, and then look to the opposite side. Pull a little bit, and hip moves out a little bit. Turn the palm up. Turn the palm forward. Looking all those ligaments and tendons, minor muscles. Looking back to the right hip. Forward. Release. And bring that hand over. If you can't do that hand up all the way, just work from the front. If you can, reach all the way up. And again, from the heels, through the arch of the low back, the coccyx, all the way up to the ears, and the brain. And of course, this left side, as it stretches, opens up the channels of the liver and the spleen, but particularly the left side, spleen and pancreas, heart, lungs, kidney. This easy stretch on the other side. And if you do it from the front, that's fine. You can reach all the way over. It just opens up this lung and heart points. There's so much that happens with your Tai Chi practice that you don't even know about. That's a really beautiful part of it. But if we're paying attention to some of these details, then these other benefits just seem to happen naturally. People will say their balance has improved considerably after just a few weeks of practice. Arms up, back, down, and back. As we come up, I'm going to make a fist with the left and a fist with the right. Turn through the spine, through the hips. Turn that left hand over. And here's this nice spiraling that goes through the whole body. Connect through the foot, the hip, the spine. From the Chinese, they talk about this spiraling energy as chuanzi. It's a very important part of also being able to develop a certain kind of strength with the energy. And back to the fist once more, left and right. Straighten out through the wrist to the knuckles. Fingers. And up, palm down, palm forward, back and palm forward. In and I say we're going to clear a lot of carbon dioxide from the body, enrich it with a lot of healing oxygen, a lot of healing chi. And we'll take those hands and circle forward. Notice the connection now between the hand and hip, right hand and hip, hand back and hip back, and then backwards, left hand and hip. That's the tricky ones coming up. As we get to the top, right hand, right hip, down and around, left hand, left hip, and up. So we've got these two circles, opposite directions, turning through the waist. And from the top, reverse, left, left, down and around. Right here, if you throw the hands down a little bit, momentum will carry them right back up to the top. So, and from the top, take them out and drop. Back and hit hard through there. I've got the microphones. And then massage the kidneys a little bit. Kidneys in Chinese medicine are so important. We just think of it as that ability to filter and clean the body, but they also have energy that affects the knees, the bones, the ears, the hair on the head, the brain, all the glandulars. So the kidneys in Chinese medicine are really, really important. Hold that for just a moment. Let the fingers touch the spine. And probably where that ring finger is, it's a stretch. I know we can stretch into the shoulders a bit. Where the ring finger is touching, or maybe where the little finger is touching, is a really important point on the spine. It's between the second and third lumbar vertebrae. And it translates as the gate of life. It must tell us something, how important it is to support the work of the kidneys. Release. Ooh, that's a nice stretch. Thumb fingers again, just for a moment. Pull the elbows back. Feel that little pull and hold. See the whole body getting brighter and brighter from where we started 20, 30 minutes ago to where we are now. How easy the breath moves in and out through the body. And go back down with the hands on the knees for a moment. It's kind of a funny one, but if I push down with my palm, the heel of the hand, and I tighten the quad, it causes the kneecap to push up against the hand. It's the left and the right. And when you got it, doing them together. It takes a little practice to get this to happen. The knees are slightly bent. Just think of tightening the thigh. And from the same position, pull up on the belly, internally strengthening all those organs, muscles. Release and pull up. The aging process doesn't do us well. We find a lot of tubby bellies because we don't use these muscles as we pull up and release. It's really important to keep these muscles strong. It's also an indication of heart problems, especially in men. So now we're going to turn to the left. Breath out. Push with that right hand a little bit. And look back towards the wall, the windows. Breath in and to the right. This is another stretch we don't do much in the day. These are some of my favorite afternoon stretches to do this next series. To the left, breath out, breath in, breath out, to the right, and in. As we come up, we're going to bring the two arms together and sink down through the legs as the breath goes out. And then breath in as we come up. Nice long stretch, nice triangle, foot to index fingers, out and pull down. Breath in and breath out. And in, big triangle. Big breath in, pull down. Same movement, this time roll down the spine. Let the breath go out. Squeeze a little. And in. There's blood pressure problems. Be sure you exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Squeeze. And this time, take the two hands and reach back between the legs. And stretch a little with the right hand and the left. Weight to the left foot and right foot. Down and up. Bringing that energy up from the earth. Meeting the energy in heaven. Can you turn the back of the hands together now? Opens up the shoulders another way. And again, pull down. Bring that heavenly energy down through the top of the head. This, all the arms, the body, all the way down. Once more. Reaching back. Left and right. And down, up. And try to get those hands to begin to turn. And pull down. As I say, this is one of my favorite afternoon exercises to do. The whole body wakes up again, and you're feeling sluggish. And then we finish with horse stance. Go ahead and sit down on the saddle if you can. Yeah, that's more comfortable, right? And then that breath in. Up. Go to the kidneys again. Massaging. There's that yin yang hand, thumb and finger. Massaging Ming Men, the gate apply back. Thumbs massaging onto the kidneys. Base. And just a short pause. We get in such a rush sometimes when we do this warm up. So many wonderful things to experience internally. Over the years, I've gotten slower and more enjoying this whole warm up. I've become more and more familiar with the whole body. And then the last, bring the hands back. We're going to do the neck. So we go forward. Let's come up, elbows, pull back a little bit. Gentle stretch. Again, vertical, side, and side. And it repeats. Breath out, and in, vertical, and then gentle back. Shoulders back. And no pain, no popping, just nice and easy. This is an area that so many people have problems with, so just be kind, be gentle as we go from the front corner to the back. Breath out as it repeats. And then now breath out as we go down. Breath in. Small, comfortable circles. No pain, no popping. Very relaxed. Open up the radius of that circle if it's comfortable. And reverse. Again, start small. Haven't had a fairly serious neck problem for a few years. And one who truly appreciates the fact that I don't have neck problems now. You have to be cautious, careful, gentle, never force anything. As I said, so many people come in for massage or acupuncture saying, oh, my neck, oh, my shoulders. So bring the two hands around, rub the fingertips, the palms, as we reach back and massage those same areas that feel like, oh, that's a good spot. Ooh, right up in there, yeah. Again, listening to the body all the way down into these big trapezius muscles, down the center line. We're working the immune system, making the lymph flow better, strengthening its resistance to illnesses along the side, right down through the groin. And to complete, bring the two hands together. It's kind of a little pulling outward at this point as we shake. Shift the weight, raise the toes. Nice big breath in and out. Continue as we go down. Thought of bringing that energy up from the earth to the lower, middle, and upper dantian. Play with colors here from the foot to Ming Men to the hands. Maybe a nice dark blue. And up to the heart. A little left and right. Maybe a beautiful green. And up to the third eye. Maybe the teeth click again a little bit. Stimulating that limbic area of the brain as we come all the way up heaven and earth. Again, a little bouncing on the heels. Stimulating the brain and all whole nervous system. And then to the toes up. Draw that heavenly chi down as you bounce. And bounce. Taking all that carbon dioxide out of the body, replacing it with all that healing, fresh oxygen, chi. As we pause for a moment to take stock of all the wonders that you've done already. Now there's a slight pull apart, and as we go down, a slight push together. Muscles in the chest, and then thumb, fingers, yin and yang. At that lower dantian, slight pull and hold on the thumb and fingers, elbows against the pelvis, coccyx and chin, left and right foot. Whole body lighting up. Tongue on the roof of the mouth with that inhalation. Bring it all the way down to the mouth. Open. Expand that area around the body. Here. Viruses and influences. So a pretty thorough warm-up we do, and this warm-up has actually shown itself in my one class to heal up old injuries much more quickly and to prevent new injuries from happening. But my interest, particularly in doing Tai Chi, is not just the martial art, but the healing aspect of it. And if we do that warm up with that sort of intention, that focus, it does a wonderful job of making you feel just great. So let's do some Tai Chi this morning. Start with the 2 feet fairly close together. The opening is raising the left toes. Sink into the right foot as that foot steps out. Shift the weight, and again, raising and lowering. Raise the hands up. Stimulated the kidney point on the foot as we come up and guide it up to the top of the collarbone, the ears, the brain. Breath in and breath out. Now guide that energy down again, down to the foot. This opening of the form is so wonderful to do. It's a practice that you can repeat many times. So let's do it once more as we bring that foot back in, emptying out all the thoughts, all the tension. As we raise that toe on the left, Yongchen, kidney 1, stimulates the kidney. Now it pumps that up. Right side pumps that up. And then 2 hands pull it up from the foot to the low back, to the collarbones, the ears, and the brain. Now guiding it all the way back down to the palms and the foot, and the lower, middle, and upper dantian. Lighting up the whole body internally. No matter what speed you do your Tai Chi at, this first movement should just be done with that sort of awareness, that sort of focus. And then as we move the hands up again, the right foot turns, toe in, and the left heel spins. We've got this nice ball of energy between the hands as we step up into the corner, heel and toe, as we spin, grasping sparrow's tail. There's this beautiful sparrow preening the tail as we sit back. Yin yang hand, high and low, low and high. As we go grasping sparrow's tail right. 4 movements. Palm up and down, rotate and draw the heel around. Toe follows, toe and heel, and breath. One very well-known Tai Chi teacher up in the Bay Area would sometimes come to an end of a movement like this and say, and pause. It gave you a chance to check your balance, check that feeling through the foot, through the coccyx and chin, to the fingers and the feet and the face. And as we continue then, the back corner and the front corner, as we step up and turn that circle over, pivot, and single whip. The handle of the whip and the tip of the whip. You go in and under, foot follows, foot follows, as we raise the hands up and down. Little feeling close. Step forward a little. And here's the hand protecting the shoulder and the elbow attacking the hand. Step back to the elbow. And step back in, hand down and around as white crane cools its wings and closes. Let's repeat those first movements. For beginners, I know this is a lot to learn one day. Be kind, be gentle, be patient. Don't try to remember it. Just try to follow the movement as we raise up the tongue. Pump that energy from the ground up through the kidney channel, ears and brain, sense organs, whole body. As we turn and embrace the young, step up, grasping sparrow's tail left. Sit back a little, yin yang hand, and to the diagonal, ward off, roll back, press, try to spin hips and knees, clearing that elbow hand as we go back to push. And then opening to the back corner, and front corner for single whip. Left hand and foot, right hand and foot. Raise the hands up and upper hand. Shoulder strike, withdraw. Re-enter as white crane cools its wings. And close it. That first part is maybe the most difficult part of the whole form. Now we just move straight down this line. Brush knee and strike. Bring that hand up. Play the peepaw. And deflect. Block. Brush knee and strike right. Now pivot the hand and foot. Coming up. Brush knee and strike. Notice I'm staying back on this right leg. Stay back for a moment and brush knee and step up and play the peepaw. High pat on horse. Around with the fist, hammer hand. Step up, parry, and punch. Leg open, close. And peek back over that shoulder. Fan to back. Embracing moon and water. And cross hands. That's the end of section 1. Draw in and out. As I say, that first part up through white crane, it's changing angles and changing directions, and it's challenging for sure. But what it's trying to help you do, especially there, is to work with this idea of turning a toe and spinning the heel. Draw the heel in, draw the toe around. The other direction would be toe still slightly in, 45 degrees or more out, and then spin. This really helps to keep your knees safe. I see a lot of people who do Tai Chi, they'll leave that back foot and turn. When you turn the waist, you can feel the catch in the knee, the ankle, the hip. When you release it, everything moves freely, easily. From the old Tai Chi classics, they said the body, the joints to the knees, the hips, the shoulders, it's like 9 pearls on a string. They all move easily together. If you don't move that back foot, they start to get turned and turned against each other. This allows the body to turn. It keeps the knees safe. This is really important. I had problems from a couple of teachers who were not as careful in teaching this aspect. It also allows you then to turn through the waist and feel that connection from that back foot, which is really the power that's involved in Tai Chi. We have the sense of all the joints of the body connected. All right. So practice that a little bit. We had a very athletic class with one of my teachers, and this caused a lot of difficulty for people in the beginning to not go one foot, just one foot moves, and then the other foot moves, and then somebody would mess up, and Mr. Shu would help us to learn it again. So he put us into horse stance. Foot, and then back to horse. Maybe the other way, foot and foot. You drill us like that for about 40 minutes. So the next time when somebody messed up, we all sort of walked over and said, you do that again. And it does, it really does strengthen and spare the joints of the body. So practice that a little bit on your own. Any questions today from the class? But you're done in order. Yeah. Yeah. And again, too, when you're going back, it's usually that you want that back foot to turn first. So now you come back to that nice square position. So the front foot moves, then the back foot, and then coming back foot, and front foot. Yeah. Reverse that order going back.
So you don't move your knees.
Right. It like I say, if I don't, I get that twist in the knee. And that's not comfortable. And that's not a good thing for a joint as you practice years and years. But when you spin, now that knee is very soft, very comfortable. Right.
Class before, and before that, so used to doing this.
Yeah.
The instructor said, "Oh, don't move your feet."
Yeah.
And I thought that's still me. I told her that's me.
Yeah. Well, again, in a warm-up, you can do this because, again, we talk about that transu, that spiraling. But because there's many people at this age who already have knee problems, I do teach it where you raise up one and raise up the other, because it's just so much more comfortable on the lower body.
It's harder to swivel in shoes. I wear these socks with the little bit of the grip.
Yeah.
And they're more sliding.
Yeah.
And I feel that I can do the change of feet.
Yeah.
Although mostly it's done with the Chinese high shoes.
Oh, you know, I got to Taiwan and I had my Chinese shoes that I bought in San Francisco, and I walked into the park and everybody had Nikes, and I'm like, and then as I'm walking back to get to my room again, I'm going past all the Nike stores, all the tennis shoes. And I have to say, if you're working on a surface like blacktop or concrete, it's not a comfortable feeling. But you know, so a comfortable shoe, yes, and flexible, soft, That's the key to it. Great. So let's do section one more time, and then we'll bow out for today. You know, many people, and I was definitely one of these who wanted to learn more and more and more and more. And my last teacher finally slowed me down and simply said, what's the rush? Not only that, but really learn to do it right. If you do it right, if you do 5 movements right, as opposed to 25 movements wrong. So again, be patient with yourself and enjoy the fact that you can actually do these correctly. That is an internal feeling that allows the energy to move better and better throughout your whole system. So one more time through section 1. Empty out, sometimes called preparatory style, in preparation for doing the form. Relaxed, soft, empty thought. Opening of Tai Chi form. Sink, raise, shoulder width, as we pump that kidney chi from the foot all the way up to the brain. Brain all the way back down through the 3 dantians, to the hands and the feet. As we come up again, activating all that energy from the earth. One, 2, the toe turning, and the heel spinning. Heel spinning, toe following, toe and heel. Such good practice right there. Single whip. Handle of the whip and tip of the whip as it cracks through the air. Down and under, down and under. As we raise the hands up. Upper hand. Shoulder strike, withdraw. Enter, it's like crane pulls with towards the center, raises up. Brush knee and strike. Step up. And play the peepaw, this Chinese banjo. And brush knee and strike 3 times. And a repetition. Right side to left. Stay back a little as we go forward. Step up and play the peepaw. And high pat on horse. All the way around to the fist, and then down to the knee. Carry and punch. Open and close. Peek back. Elbow, hand, and down and around to cross hands. Close Tai Chi form of section 1. Thank yourself for good practice today. Being guided in your thoughts, being guided in your speech, guided in the actions of your heart. And to each of you, thank you for coming. Thank you for playing with us. folks at home, thank you for your patience and your attention. Yeah.